In today's episode, we will finally be announcing the details of the FX Sniper Challenge. I take a look at setups on Euro, Swiss franc and CADJPY. Karabu takes a look at a short setup on USDZAR. And Bruce discusses setups on the Aussie 200 index and Aussie dollar USD. We also have some action from our Discord trading room. Welcome to another weekly market review here with FX price action setups. Before we get started, just a quick announcement on the FX Sniper Challenge. Entries are now open and the event will start in 3 weeks on the 30th of September. You can find all the info on our website or in the Discord trading room. The links are in the descriptions below. I will leave you guys with a quick little teaser before we jump into the setups, but you can find the link to the full information video at the end of this episode. Enjoy. Alright, I want to start off with the Euro Swiss franc, and we're on the weekly chart here. And some of you might remember this big drop we had on the 1.2 level when this floor was pulled. Was quite a chaotic Monday that day. And since then, the market has pulled back, and it actually went exactly to this 1.2 level. And I often refer to this as the easiest trade in Forex history. It's a great example of support becoming resistance. Now, since then, the market has been coming down, and we had this little 1, 2, 3 waves down. We had our correction, and now we've had another wave down. And I believe we're still going to go down further, but we now, after we've taken this liquidity from June 2007, I believe there might be a little bit of a bounce before we will actually continue lower. So we're going to be concentrating on catching this long on the lower time frames. So jumping down to the 4-hour time frame, as you guys can see, there was this big consolidation right above this 2007 liquidity level. Before the market came down below this level, there was another little consolidation here. The market popped up, ran the lows again, and then we had our big impulsive move. Now what I'm going to be looking for next week is a little bit of an ABC pattern or some sort of correction, and hopefully we will get to this breaker block or this level where this market ran these final stops. And at this level, I'll be looking to get long. I have a first target set at this first resistance, but I believe that we will go a little bit higher, at least to these highs over here, and maybe a little bit higher to that weekly support zone or weekly SR flip zone, which if I just drop back to the weekly time frame comes in at around 1.115. So yeah, next week we'll be looking for the long, and we'll update you guys on the trade. Alright, CADJPY is another potential big swing that I'm looking for, and we're starting off as always on the weekly time frame. And as you guys can see, after this market came down, we had the big consolidation before we had this impulsive move higher. We're busy now forming a little bit of a correction, and once this correction is complete, I believe that we will be getting higher and taking these highs at the top here. So quite a big move that I'm expecting, and we'll go down to the lower time frames quickly. So just firstly jumping down to the daily time frame, as you guys can see, we did clear all this liquidity down here, and we ended up touching this daily order block. And since then we had this big impulsive reaction. So all we're going to look for next week is a corrective pattern, and then we will look to get long, and hopefully we can get all the way to the top. Alright, and finally jumping to the 1-hour time frame, we actually did have a nice little setup last week, and we could have actually entered the market down here. But if you've missed it, I do believe we'll have another opportunity, and hopefully next week we'll make a similar sort of correction, ideally to where this little consolidation started. We had the little flag here and then the breakout. So hopefully we can get back to this level, and we'll find some price action to get long, and then we can go for those highs.
Good day, traders. Welcome to our weekly market analysis. I am looking at this interesting setup on USDZAR. Now there are two strategies I want to go through. One, it is using structure, and the other one, it is using supply and demand imbalances. So if we look at this based on structure, what we currently have we had price consolidating for several days, and this was the support. So until last week, price finally broke through it. So what do we expect? We expect this area to become a flip zone in previous support turning into a resistance. So what I'm looking for it is for a pullback back into that previous support, which could now become resistance, and looking for a further move to the downside. Now, again, interesting enough, if we look at here, let me mark it off. We had this was our resistance level, and price did broke through it and turned into support. So possibly we could expect price to drop back into this support, and what we could have, it's either we could have price continuing to the upside or breaking through this level and becoming again now a resistance and expecting a further move again to the downside. So using supply and demand imbalances, we know for every zone to be created, it must have been removed by an opposing zone. In this case, we have demand removed by supply. So if price does pull back into this supply zone, it will be an interesting zone to place your order at for a potential short back into this demand zone, which is at this previous resistance, which is now support. So there is that interesting confluence between the two. That is a nice setup, something which I will definitely be looking out for the week. So hope you have enjoyed the video, and cheers, good luck.
Okay, guys, how are you? I just want to share a few analyses with you today. What I see today is it's one, so it's very interesting because I had my change of structure here going up, right? So we had a change of structure here, and then like we had bounced there where price bounced before. So I'm expecting price to pull back to that level as you can see what it's doing, and then from there would expect to have a sell going down to that level. And as you can check again, we also have a gap here. We also have another gap down there, which is this one here. So I'll be looking for price to pull back. So I'll be looking for price to go down here from here. Once it changed the structure again, so this lows here will be taken out, which is going to be my order block there. So what I'm going to be doing again is to wait for that pullback, and then just like what happens before, and then I'll sell it going down just to cover these two gaps here. And then we have nice opportunities there to go for a short. Another analysis that I did was on AUDUSD, which for me, looking at this block here, I'm expecting price to pull back to that level down there to give me like my nice buy entry there. So if you wanna buy it here, we're not gonna sell it going down. This will be your first order block here. This will be your 61.8 of your free book. So it might bounce on that order block and then push up to trap the buyers before it pushes down to 61.8 with the golden zone, which is a fib zone, some call it fib zone, and before it push up to that level. So the nice buy opportunities will be on this level, and then we get out here. Your stop loss, you look at this level down here just to hide your stop loss below this low. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk again next week.